Twitch people, I did have a reaction, but they couldn't see tight because I was on big cam. But we had video games. Everyone forgot about. I already know there's gonna be another video. Let's get into it.
Music video games that everyone used to play back in the day. From mobile games all the way to online website games. I mean, there was a whole lot of them.
Okay.
So I decided to sit
Games, Pete mobile games, Angry Birds, obviously Temple Run, Short Surfer, Jet Pat Joyride, the piano game, that menu game. It was just
down
peak.
to unlock some of my deepest memories to find some of these games that we all used to play, but probably completely forgotten about. Starting out strong, we got mobile games.
Yo, Chad, why this game so fun, Chad?
Now, I think that if you grew up back in like the early 2010s or around then, these were probably some of the most important games.
Oh my, peak. No lie, chat. I probably paid more than 80% on this list. Yeah, I definitely played more than 80% on this list.
To your childhood, because this was before any of us had enough motion to buy gaming consoles or $10,000 gaming spaceships just to run Fortnite. I don't even know which game to start with, so let's spin a wheel. Subscribe to 808 Savion for the chillest videos of all time. Hold up a second. Alright, so we got Fruit Ninja. Seriously, when was the last time y'all heard about or played this game? This was one of those simple games that was at the top of the App Store back a long time ago. The idea of slicing all this juicy ass fruit and then trying to avoid all these bombs, it was just like,
y'all wasn't touching me in Fruit Ninja. It's just that I was best in that. I'm telling you, I was the best in that. Nobody was touching me in Fruit Ninja.
It's so beautiful. It had me playing like
Fruit Ninja, Temple Run. Nobody was beating my high score. Nobody.
An iPad kid, and I didn't even have one of those. After doing some research, though, according to even one of the main developers of this game, it seems like a major part of this game's downfall was that they started adding way too much stuff in the game. They had arcade mode, multiplayer mode, microtransactions, and some of it was cool, but it low-key was just way too complicated. I mean, if you open up the Fruit Ninja app now, it looks like this. The people working on that game eventually started working on their newest game, Jetpack Joyride, which was another one of the biggest mobile games at that time. Low-key probably to ever release. I don't remember which game was more popular. Honestly,
that's top. That gotta be like top 10 mobile games. I have to go Jetpack, Joyride, Silver Surfers, Temple Run, Angry Birds, obviously. There's more, but I could name. Wait. Where we at? 1 minute 20 seconds. Let's go back. Where did he had a whole list. Chat. It was just so many peak mobile games. I ain't gonna lie.
Remember playing
times was good back
but I knew
then.
a lot of friends and stuff that loved that game. There were so many classic mobile games during this time period. I mean, we had Angry Birds, which came out with 1 million apps and even a movie. There was Flappy Bird, which was successful. The creator had mentioned that it basically ruined his life, with there even being rumors about him taking his own life, which thankfully wasn't true. And to this day, he's actually still working on games.
This poor man found out that Flappy Bird got removed from the App Store.
I ain't gonna lie, when Flappy Bird got removed, niggas was going through it. Like, it was just hard times.
Flappy Bird.
You had grown men crying. That's how big it was.
iPhone. Flappy Bird.
It actually got announced recently that it's being officially brought back, but that caused quite a bit of controversy considering they basically took the IP away from the original owner, and now there's conspiracies about it being an NFT scam. But at least for now, it looks like the original creator is
no way.
There was all these other random mobile games we had, like Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope, Crossy Road, and the greatest game of all, chilling. There was all these other random mobile games we had, like Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope, Crossy Road.
Like I was saying, Crossy Road was definitely up there.
owner, and now there's conspiracies about it being an NFT scam, but at least for now it looks like the original creator is chilling. There was all these other random mobile games we had, like Doodle Jump, Cut the Rope, Crossy Road, and the greatest game of all time has got to be Temple Run. Man, I love that game so much. I remember Plants vs Zombies used to be like super popular. Nowadays if I hear about it, it's usually a meme or something and not actually people playing the game. They even went beyond mobile gaming and were able to create some pretty cool spin-offs, like Garden Warfare for example, which was like this multiplayer shooter taking the game. Cool. I know a ton of people love. I remember I used to play at my friend's house and that shit was awesome. So I don't know if y'all remember these, but Talking Tom and those kinds of apps were like super popular back then, and they had some interesting controversy surrounding them. So this game series had characters like Talking Tom, Talking Ben, and Talking Angela, where basically you just had to like take care of them and make sure they don't unalive themselves or do any dumb shit. Now one of the big controversies was specifically centered around Talking Angela, and people thought that she might be a front for a lot of people and parents were convinced that this app was using the facial features, the microphone access, and all that to stalk and personally track down these kids who were using the app. Maybe they were, who knows? So yeah, that was a pretty crazy one. So the next thing I want to talk about is the lost versions of Minecraft, which most of y'all have probably played. Minecraft Pocket Edition, or Minecraft Lite as some of y'all may know, was the very first version of mobile Minecraft to ever release, and I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of ass. This version of Minecraft had oak wood. Most of y'all have probably played. Minecraft Pocket Edition, or Minecraft Lite as some of y'all may know, was the very first version of mobile Minecraft to ever release, and I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of ass. This version of Minecraft had oak wood, bricks,
how was yesterday though? How was yesterday?
Sand, gravel, dirt, wool, glass, doors, and torches. And that was pretty much all you would get until they started adding stuff later on. I vividly remember them not having water buckets, so to make a river, I would just use like blue wool and just pretend it was water. So at some point, instead of having a nether portal, they added this block called a nether reactor core. You could craft that bad boy, and after that, you had to make this weird like ritual looking build with it. But when you activated it, you actually got sent to the nether, sort of at least. The game would put you in this like weird nether themed room, and like there would be zombie piglins that attacked you and stuff would pop out the floor. This was a feature.
I don't know if y'all know, but Minecraft is my favorite game all time. Like Minecraft really affects me the way I am. Like Minecraft always be my favorite game all time.
That was exclusive to this version, and we have never seen in any other version of Minecraft to this day. It was not the greatest version of Minecraft that we have ever seen, but it was kind of cool and funny to look back on. Back then, if you owned a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, or any of the consoles that came out after that, a lot of y'all also likely played the Minecraft console Legacy editions. Now, I actually made a video about this before, but this version of Minecraft was actually goated. There were some limitations, don't get me wrong,
but I remember the mini games. This version used to have mini games. You used to have like Spleef. Hugger games. You used to have Hugger games, bro. Peak. I remember playing with my cousin. Man, that was peak. Like, oh, I'm getting Discord notifications. Damn, I shut up Discord. Alright, there we go.
But it had so many cool features, like the tutorial worlds where you could just explore the entire world and do all this cool stuff like finding Easter eggs around it. They had built-in skin packs, texture packs, maps, and even their own version of servers known as the minigames mode, which was actually so fun to play back then. They had battle mode, which was like a mini battle royale, tumble, which was like Spleef if y'all ever played that, and they also had glide, which was like this racing mode but with the wings, so that way you could fly around. Aside from the game itself,
I've never played glide mode though. I didn't only play it once, but I used to be me and my cousins used to only be like on Spleef and hugging games, mostly hugging games. Like, oh my!
Exclusively played this version of Minecraft, like Stampy Longhead, for example.
But I remember the tutorial. Oh my! Take me back, bro. That was peak. That was peak life. I remember the tutorial and everything, bro. I remember tutorials when you first started. That was peak.
At some point when Microsoft took over the game, they made the switch from legacy versions on the console to Bedrock, which was...
It was cool. Like, when first I was like, okay, I was fine with it, but like, Minecraft Legacy Edition was so peak. Like, it had hugging, Spleef. That version was that was peak Minecraft.
Basically a
Ain't
shitty mobile port.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
I don't know. We gotta stop talking about
It's
this.
cool.
Though.
It's
It's
cool.
Gonna make me
It's
tear
cool,
up.
though.
This game was actually so good. Now, something that was real popular way back that you don't really see often anymore are online browser.
And Minecraft music just be hating. Like, y'all can't tell me Minecraft music is trash. Like, I'm just not
More
believing y'all.
specifically, virtual worlds. Starting out strong, we got none other than Club Penguin. Now, Club Penguin was
Peak.
created back in 2005, and it became one of the most popular, if not the most popular online website game of all time, eventually reaching over 250 million players. I actually never really
Damn.
played that much of it myself, but the cultural impact that this game had on the internet was
I
actually
didn't play Club Penguin like that, but when I played it, I enjoyed it.
insane. It basically started as like an online interactive chat room. It was actually called Penguin Chat at first, and over time they started adding more and more stuff until it eventually evolved into the game we all know and love, Club Penguin. This game pretty much acted as like an escape from real life, where you could live this awesome life as a penguin outside of real life. You could socialize with people, making new friends. You could explore the island and all the different areas that they had.
But it was a lot of creeps on this game, though. I
And
thought.
there was all kinds of mini games you could play, character customization, events, missions, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. At this point, you might as well just quit your job and play Club Penguin. Now, all seemed like it was going great until Disney had acquired this game for over $350 million.
It's like Disney just be buying every single thing. I remember when they bought Family Guy, I was like, why? Just why? They bought Marvel, National Geographic, like they just
By
be
2010,
buying
mobile gaming
Fox.
was becoming very popular, and a lot of the player base had started shifting over from Club Penguin to these other mobile games, with them losing about 10% of their players.
Pixar Gun was peak. Don't care.
But
Pixar
this was just the
Pixar Gun
beginning.
was
To make
peak.
up for the loss of their players, Disney was like, hold up a second, we gotta start making some money out of these kids. So they started going cuckoo bananas, locking a bunch of the game's base features behind paywalls, which obviously players were not too happy with. They started locking stuff like clothing, puffles, which were these little stupid weird looking pet things, mini games.
Take that live. I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna end the live real quick. I'm gonna start back up soon.
Game rewards and all this other random stuff, so people were like, what the heck, man. The game eventually got stale, players stopped showing interest in the game, and in March of 2017 Disney finally decided to pull the plugs, shutting down the original Club Penguin for good. From this point, all that was left was like this mobile spin-off called Club Penguin Island, which people did not like very much. Recently there's actually been a new game in the works by the same team who made Club Penguin called Party Parrot World. However, this game has still not caught on yet. It is a very new game though, so who knows, maybe one day it will reach the success of Club Penguin. Other than Club Penguin, there was several other popular online games that me and a lot of other people used to play. There was games like Toontown, Pop Tropica, Wizard 101. I remember there was this one virtual world game that came out called Monkey Quest, and that shit was fire. Besides virtual world games, another type of game that has been lost to time are flash games. Now, flash games were these browser-based games that were built inside of Adobe Flash, hence the name. And some of these games date back all the way to the 1990s.
Bro, I remember the Smash. I forgot Smash, bro. It was Smash something. I
I
remember
mean, if you
that.
take a look at some of these
Henry
games or the
Stickmin.
websites they're hosted on, it looks like someone's going to take over your computer and start mining Bitcoin on it. Most of the time, these games were pretty simple, which is how they were able to run on these browsers. But there was
love
plenty of
Club.
classic Flash games. I am
love-
absolutely sure that a lot of y'all played cool math games back in the day, especially if you were like,
Peak. I remember like third grade. Used to play cool math games. Just sneak it, pretend like we're doing work. So when the teacher come, change.
bored out of your
Changed
mind
it.
at school or something. They had classics like Run 3, Fireboy and Water Girl, and a whole lot of straight bangers. No battle pass, no item shop, just some good times. Back then, you could find Flash games of basically anything you could possibly imagine. They had the Impossible Quiz, which was like an impossible quiz. They had all these questions where you had to think outside of the box to move on to the next level. There was Alien Hominid, where you could be this alien and do all this cool alien fighting
Yo.
stuff. A lot of these Flash games would also be like 2D clones of games that were already existing. There was a really popular Flash game based on the game Portal, where you had had these guns that shoot portals, and you had to like solve all these puzzles and stuff. Now, one of the most popular Flash games of all time that a lot of y'all probably forgot about was Happy Wheels. This game probably single-handedly changed the YouTube gaming scene, with YouTubers like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Tobuscus, who made an entire series of videos about this game. I don't know how much I can show because of how sensitive YouTube is. Thanks for taking down my video and giving me a strike, YouTube. But you had iconic characters like the man on the bike with his kid in the back, this lady on a scooter, an old man in a wheelchair, even Santa Claus. I mean, there was no limits. With these characters, you had to make it through these crazy obstacle courses, often resulting in some pretty graphic scenes. Besides Happy Wheels, you also had games that did so well on Flash games that they got turned out into full-out games that you could find on like consoles and PCs and stuff, like Super Meat Boy and Bloons Tower Defense, just to name a couple of them. Now, with these Flash games, all was going good at first, but as smartphones and tablets came out, the need for Flash began to die out, and in 2017, Adobe had finally put an end to Adobe Flash, shutting it down, causing the entire existence of Flash games to be obliterated, sort of at least, because I mean, most of them did get preserved outside of Flash, luckily. So yeah, while these Flash games aren't as popular as they used to be, the legacy still lives on. A bit more recently and further into the 2010s, we started getting games like IO games that were getting super popular. I'm sure y'all all know Agario, which was like the most popular IO game of all time.
Well, I was on Agario crazy. I was on Agario crazy.
The way it worked is that you could join these servers where you started as a small blob, and you had to try to absorb the other players until you became at the top of the Agario leaderboard. My personal favorite IO game had to have been probably Slither.io. In the game, you were the snake type thing where you had to try to cut other players off and make them run into you. Now, this game was actually
I think I like the Slither better because like it was like Agario Z with Agario, it took so long to get big. Like, it took like 20-25 minutes to get like a decent size. Slither.io, you can do that in like 5 to 10 minutes.
Because if you locked in, you could hit these players with some crazy ass moves. There was all these other super popular IO games too, like Deep IO where you controlled all these tanks, Paper IO where you try to capture your own territory and then cross other people. There was Zomda.io, which was like this 2D battle royale type game. There is a trillion others, but those are just a few that were really popular. Nowadays though, if you go back to these games, it seems like most of them are just completely filled with bots, and with the very little amount of people who are left, it seems like so many of them are just straight up cheating. So yeah, it's low-key kind of sad. A lot of these IO games that were super popular aren't doing so well today. Back a while ago when gaming on YouTube was getting really popular, there was a lot of these games that's popularity pretty much relied on these videos made by creators. I remember this one game where it seems like every Let's Play YouTuber I watched made a video on, and this was Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator was
peak. I never actually played myself, but I just remember so many people playing it on YouTube, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people. I don't even think there's really that much to do in the game besides doing quests and getting high scores and all that, but I mean, seeing your favorite YouTubers play as a goat doing backflips with a jetpack had to have been peak comedy as a kid. This was my skibbity toilet back in the day. Slenderman was another game that used to be hugely popular a long time ago, and to me it's actually so surprising that I never hear about this game anymore considering how big it was at the time.
Bro, Slenderman was so scary, bro. Every time you hear Slenderman, you used to be like every time you see a tall man like come out the woods, Slenderman was actually scary.
This was before even like Five Nights at Freddy's had came out, so this was a lot of people's introduction to horror games. Now the impact that this game had on me and other kids was actually crazy. I remember binge watching videos about Slenderman sightings in real life. Let's take a look at this one. Previously banned footage by the US government. Uncovered footage about what happened. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this is kind of getting spooky.
I remember this though.
No freaking way. We found this video on a YouTube channel by the name of the RJO Productions. Now a fully shut down account. We used the YouTube downloader to get this file as it interested us at the time, and we wanted to show our friends this creepy video. With research, we know this thing to be the Slenderman, and we believe people need to know what's going on. The channel was deleted by the government in August of 2011. We were one of the lucky ones who got this download. Also, when this video was found, it strangely had no audio. I don't don't know about y'all, but this looks like the real Slenderman to me. Now, if any of y'all had the Wii console back then, chances are your childhood was actually fire. Looking back on it, it was such a strange console. I mean, you would never see anything like this come out today. They had the two completely different motion-censored remotes that you would hold in each hand, and for a lot of these games, you could get these other remotes that were specifically for these games. They had them for wheels, guns, dumbbells, fishing poles, interactive baby remotes. They even had a whole inflatable race car that you could use as a remote. With the Wii, you had the custom Mii character creator that you could use across many games within the Wii, and you cannot talk about the Wii without mentioning arguably the most important part of it, Wii Sports. They had tennis, baseball, golf.
Come on. Wii Sports? Come on. Hold on. Come on. Wii Sports was peak. I don't care. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care. Where is it? Right here. Give me this. That was peak.
Off, boxing, and pretty much everyone's favorite Wii bowling. They just didn't.
Bowling, I was a beast, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas used to think I was cheap.
I know how to miss with these games. I mean, every single one of these is so good. Now, with this next game, I had to go back to the deepest parts of my brain to even remember this game's existence. And the crazy part is that this game did not even come out that long ago. Now, this game is Skylanders. The unique thing about these games is that they had created these toys that you could go out and buy in real life. And when you put them on the Skylanders portal connected to the console, it would bring these characters that you buy in real life into the digital game. This was pretty crazy at the time because no one had really seen anything like this before, and for a while they created this whole new genre of toy-to-life video games that we saw with games like Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions. Every single year there would be a new Skylanders game to be released, and with Activision doing what they do best, they milked the out of this game. In addition to the yearly releases, there was hundreds of these toy characters that you could purchase,
so most of them having
I never got one of these. They would also milk this game by not only putting these characters behind a paywall, but they would lock so much of the game's content behind paywalls for little kids that had to buy just to play them. With all this in mind and all the other games popping up, it became crazy oversaturated and people started losing interest in it over time. I mean, the creators went as far as to give this game an entire show after the interest had already been declining, but even then it could not save the series. For how popular this game was, it's actually crazy how hard this game fell off. And as someone who played these Skylander games, I had completely forgotten that these existed at all. Let me know what games y'all used to play, because I'm sure there's a lot of them that I didn't even think about. But yeah, as always, if y'all want to invest in the channel before we hit 100K, feel free to drop a sub. Also, I just wanted to say shout out to y'all for getting me to 20,000 subscribers. I really appreciate y'all's support. I'm also always talking to y'all on my Discord, so feel free to join that down below. But yeah, y'all, peace.
W video. YouTube, that was the video games everyone forgot about. That was the W video. Like always, W video. I'm actually gonna subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stand by goals, stand by God. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.